All right. Welcome everyone to today's session. A very good morning, good evening to all of you. Today we have with us Mr. Nikhil Kulkarni. He's a startup evangelist currently functioning as joint CEO at Marathwada Accelerator for Growth and Incubation Council, which we know as MAGIC. It is supported by Department of Skill Development, Employment, Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Government of Maharashtra under Maharashtra State Innovation Society Incubator Scheme, and playing an instrumental role in driving the various central and state government policies in and around the region. Nikhil has published, he has 4 Indian patents and has published in 10 plus research. He has published 10 plus research articles in international journals and conferences. He serves various MSME organizations in India through his knowledge base for improving the business process, guiding on new trends, research and design works in their product services as a design consultant. He also holds mentorship positions across various organizations around the world, like Mark Startup India, which is from Government of India. He's mentor on the ADP list, and many other organizations where he's playing a very key role, being a mentor and mentoring a lot of startups around India. So over to you, Nikhil. Nikhil will talk about various funding avenues that are available across India. Just to give an overview of today's session, we will have like Nikhil will explain about different avenues for around 30-35 minutes, and then we'll open the session for Q&A. Post that, we will do the regular breakout session. So over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you. Thank you, Devdatta. Good morning, all, and good evening, good afternoon, wherever time zone you are there. So, as Devdatta said, a few days back, I had a discussion with Anand sir, and we discussed that why not to give a glimpse of the various funding avenues which are available from government agencies. So we have a private agencies like angel investors, VCs over there across the India, and now India becoming the startup nation. But there are plenty of the government avenues which majority of the people who are in the startup ecosystem not be knowing. So I'm just trying to give a glimpse of it to just make you aware that these are the facilities. Devdatta, please let me know whether my screen is visible or not. Is it?
It's loading. Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll start my presentation by congratulating with to all of you people that we are now become a part of the third largest startup ecosystem in India. Recently, we have celebrated the second National Startup Day. Fortunately, we have also celebrated the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav from all over the nation. So the government have selected 75 incubation centers to nurture the ecosystem and to make aware of what sort of initiatives those are going on the different parts of the different parts of the country. So these are few key ingredients which one of my affiliate of company with whom I have connected over the long period of time. The capita we have figured out that these are the key ingredients of the business, and if you'll see one of the major key ingredient, but it has the weightage of 25 to 30% is about the seed funds, right? So when we talk about seed funds, so it maybe starts from family and friends. You may bootstrap, you may take some sort of money from your colleagues. Then you approach to the agencies, the organizations, and there are different level of organizations. Like there are the incubation centers. So when I'm saying incubation centers, I've seen majority of the people, they are not actually knowing the actual use of the incubation center. So incubation centers always give you the support, of which funding is one of the part. So they give you the support to crystalline your idea, to validate your idea, whatever thought process you are doing about your particular idea. So whether it is useful or not, whether you're in right direction or not, what sort of other parts that you need to consider that incubation center is giving. So it is moreover about the early stage or pre-early stage, very, very early stage incubator comes. So then we have the accelerators. So accelerators always comes in the late stage when where you have the ready to go market product, and then you want a sort of capital. So capital requirement is more for you. So the accelerators provide you the help. Then we have the scalators. So those are only meant to provide you the funding, or they are only meant to provide you the investment. So incubators, accelerators, and escalators, and all these are the government as well as non-government agencies also nowadays in India. So this is the snapshot of what support from various governmental agencies is there for you. So one of the important portal or single point of contact portal is a Startup India, where you will find the different sort of initiatives which are going on. So when we talk about funding, so we always used to talk about the funding for idea, but we never think of what sort of other aspects which we require. So I'll tell you the one of the important part from the Startup India is that, so let's say you have a product. Now we have the 75 startups selected across the Maharashtra state, and they have, because whenever we talk about innovation, there is a thing of protecting your idea. So apart from the seed funding, the now central government has one of the scheme by the name of SIPP, Startup Intellectual Property Promotion. So this scheme is dedicatedly there for you people to protect your IP, to give you the funding related for protection of your IP. And this scheme is going very good. Under this scheme, you need to pay only the registration charges, and whatever consulting charges, whatever patent attorney charges are required, those will be completely reimbursement from the government of India. This is very much important to understand, because always innovator try to find out to get the funding, a cumulative funding for his or her entire idea. There is a public portal by name of innovateindia.mygov.in, where the government post the problems faced by the public, and this is moreover also connected to the Ministry of Urban Affairs. So the smart city missions are there. So Innovate India is moreover also connected to the smart city missions, because we have the many of the smart cities now in India. So they have the particular problem statements related to them, like waste management, then citizen engagement. So these sort of problem statements are opened up there, and innovators can participate into. One of the agencies since 2014, they took a shape in India, that is a NITI Aayog. NITI stands for National Institution for Transforming India. And the NITI Aayog actually started two major sub-verticals. And the names of those sub-verticals are under this flagship initiative by the name of Atal Innovation Mission. So the Atal Innovation Mission has two sub-verticals, as I said, AIC, Atal Incubation Center, and Atal Tinkering Lab, ATL. So Atal incubation centers are the incubators which are there in the academic institutions, university, industry incubators, also the research organization. It's so dedicatedly research organizations. So they have a good support of seed funding. So what sort of seed funding avenues? So these are the various agencies I'm talking. But what sort of avenues are available there? I'll talk in the next slide. But so the funding is available here. The next instrumental agency is from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. The name is Mighty Startup Hub. There is another agency which is administered by the IIT Delhi. The name is Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So they have the key parameters or the key indicators for them to provide the challenge-based support to the innovators. The pioneer agency in this entire ecosystem is Department of Science and Technology. So they recently celebrated their 50 years in 2021, and the DST was the instrumental agency to nurture this entire ecosystem, or to establish this entire ecosystem in India. So they have the various initiatives. We'll see in the next slides. The whatever we talked till now, and I'll cover the BIRAC as well. So whatever agencies are there, those are for the technology, or let's say those are kind of sector agnostic agency. But since 2014-15, it was found that there is a need. There is actually a need. So not 14 actually. So I think it's 2012 itself. It was found that there is a need of supporting the healthcare ecosystem. And earlier it is used to get supported by the ministry directly, but then they have settled up under Department of Biotechnology. They have initiated the initiative or the agency by the name of BIRAC. So BIRAC stands for Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. So they have the support for supporting the biology or biotechnology based innovations. I'll give you a walkthrough of that portal because they have plenty of the schemes which are going on right now. Now, apart from this DST, MIT, NITI, BIRAC, there is another field is required because India is the India is the country of the villages, and people used to have the livelihood businesses. So we cannot every point of time we cannot think of having the more innovative or the technology based businesses. So for that purpose, because in 31st of July 2022 itself, government has also amended the definition of startup India. So earlier it is used to be a startup which is there with having the age less than 10 years. Second, it should be a private limited LLP or registered partnership. Third important is their turnover should not be 100 crores. Fourth key part was, or fourth key indicator was, they should have the innovative product, process or service. But now what they have amended since 31st of July, that they have said that innovation is okay, innovation should be there, but the percentage of innovation can be altered by saying this. If you have, if that particular idea is generating the sustainable economy, they are going to have these their nearby ecosystem sustainable through the wealth creation and employment generation, then that agency can also be taken under the startup India. And for that purpose only, there is an agency which is working, minister or central government ministry is working. The name is Ministry of small and medium micro small and medium enterprises. So they have one of their sub vertical by the name of KVIC, Khadi Vikas Industrial Commission. So they have the incubators by the name of LBI. Now here I'm taking an opportunity to elaborate you more about the incubators in a different prospect. So there are actually three types of incubators. There are the BIs, business incubators, who are supporting the generic ideas, or let's say the ideas where technology intervention is not there, but the management idea is there. There are the TBIs, the technology business incubator, who are supporting to the technology businesses. There is now, because of this MSME and KVIC, LBIs got emerged. So LBI stands for Livelihood Business Incubation Center. So one of the incubation center I'll tell you, which is available there in Maharashtra, to best of my knowledge in Nashik. So they have the incubator. So by means of incubator, they have the infrastructural facilities for you people, and what sort of businesses you can generate from there. So you can have the soap making businesses, the spices businesses, the bakery product. So these businesses are not that much of innovative, right? You can definitely work on the flavor part of it, but those are not that much of innovative as far as the blockchain or AI is concerned. But those are the businesses, those are generating, those are contributing towards the employment generation and wealth creation. So this sort of businesses or training for such sort of businesses can be availed through this KVICs. And one of the KVICs there is in the uh, Nashik itself. To best of my knowledge, there are other incubators also. Coming to this slide, as I told you, I've tried to take a snapshot of these four agencies which are there for supporting the innovators. So as I said, you DST was DST, not was, it is actually a pioneer agency, and they have the different verticals to support. So they have initiated the ITBI. So initially, DST used to have the IEDC, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Cells. So these are is in the academic institutions, but then it has been shifted, or the idea was shifted to the um, next level of the IEDC, that's a next gen IEDC. And now they have the incubators by the name of ITBI. So they have the inclusive technology business incubator. This will also you'll find out in Maharashtra. Let me tell you the beauty of Maharashtra, that Maharashtra has the two incubators which are actually governing the majority of the incubation centers in all over India. One there is in Sain IIT Bombay, who are supporting the technology based innovations. Second there is which is in Mumbai, and second there is one in Pune. The name is Venture Center, who are supporting to the uh, biology, biotechnology, medical, chemical sciences businesses. So these are the two agencies which are there in Maharashtra. So they are not the competitors, but they have their own level of support. But apart from them, the DST is also having the other programs like like now you will see what structure they have. So they have the incubators, they have the scheme of an seed support program. So where you will actually approach to these agencies to get the seed funding. Then they have the center of excellence, because it was observed that having the sector agnostic support will not be going to nurture you to the desired level. They will definitely going to take you at the particular level, but they will not be able to take you the desired level. So that's why the center of excellences have started. Then the Nidhi Accelerator program is also there, through which the different agencies support you to the accelerate your businesses by providing maximum cap of funding. When I'm saying mighty startup hub, so there are the various incubation centers all over India. Tide 2. Under the scheme by the name of Tide 2.0. One of the incubation center there is in Nashik. There is in Vidarbh. There are 3-4 incubators in Marathwada. We have to check it, but Tide 2.0 is widespread. So approximate count of Tide 2.0 centers is 6 plus 20 by 31, 30. There are 51 incubation centers are which are supported by the mighty startup. Now, if we'll see the ministry itself, the name of ministry itself says that what sort of innovations they will provide, they will support at most. So any business, any idea which is having the which is having the inclusion of an IT or ITES related components, those will be supported by the mighty startup hub. So while talking about this, so in mighty startup hub you have the good amount of grant support. Now, no, I'll try to cover that part is there. So there are actually only two parts of financial support available from the incubators. From government there are only two parts of support is available. One is grant in aid and second one is investment, right? So grant in aid in a simple Marathi it is anudan hai, right? So there are different names of these schemes. So for grant you will see these buzzwords in the ecosystem like Prayas, EIR stands for entrepreneurship in residence. Then also grant support. So these all are get covered under grant vertical. And there is another vertical by the name of just a minute. Okay, I have a low bandwidth, so I'm keeping my camera off. So there are the other sub vertical which I talked to you about is investment. So now in investment, particularly to the startup, we have the different support by the name of equity investment and by the name of debt investment or debt like instrument. So these are the second point which I talked to you. It is very new. I'm just giving you the glimpse of it because we have an expert in the panel itself, which will definitely touch upon these points in our entire 18 weeks of program. So by means of an equity, you have going to have the investment at very higher risk. But then what government has thought now with this Startup India Seed Fund scheme, what they thought why not to initiate the support, providing the good amount of support which will have the minimal amount of risk to the incubators as well as to the innovator. So when innovator, I mean to have a startup. Yes. So in debt like instruments. you usually get you will usually get the amount of support as in the part of loan, and if you are unable to pay it in a certain period of time, you will definitely the entire amount or the entire investment which will be made by the incubators, it will be converted into the equity. So on a record, I'm making you to note that please go try to understand the point of debt like instruments or debt for taking the investment from the incubators. Now, why it is important for you people? Because in the new scheme, the Startup India Fund scheme, so which was launched by our Prime Minister in 2000, nearly in 2018-19, and this scheme has a complete financial support of 945 crores. Now, this entire support is given through the incubators from all over the India, of which Magic is proudly part of this scheme also. Under this scheme, they have only two different supports. One is grant, and second one is about the debt or debt-like instrument. Again, going into the deeper of this part, let me tell you, dear innovators, the scheme itself says that there is a funding support available for grant up to 20 lakhs. Please remember my word. They say the funding support is available for grant up to 20 lakh, and for debt or debt link instruments up to 50 lakh. Whatever proposal I'm observing, since this is Magic is my second incubator where I'm looking into the scheme, and what I observed is startups are upfrontly they are asking about, for grant support they are asking about 20 lakhs, for debt they are asking about 50 lakhs. But you people really need to understand, though you are getting consultation from any one of the agency, you need to really understand that whether you are going to require that, because grant and this debt support is very limited to the incubators, and majority of the times what happens that you apply to the incubators. So let me give you some eligibility criteria of this scheme also, because now I have seen while talking to Devdatta, I've seen that there are many of the innovators, they have not started their startup itself. So when I'm saying the startup, they have not started their private limited companies. So once you have a company, the what is the criteria of this scheme is, the first important criteria is that your company age should not be more than 2 years at the time of application. Try to understand at the time of application. Try to understand the crux behind this note, that if your startup age or your startup is going to complete 2 years of age today itself, so before midnight, 12 o'clock, you can apply for the scheme. This is very, very important. So startup age should not be more than 2 years. By means you can apply if your startup is completing 2 years of age. So today itself you can apply, because the name, because the sentence itself says at the time of application. Second, that you should not have raised any sort of seed money from any other government scheme. So whichever government scheme we talk now, right now, let's say from Niti Aayog, then we talked about from uh, MITI, then DST, the BIRAC. I'm going to show it to you. So you should not have raised any sort of seed capital or any sort of seed capital government support from more than 10 lakh rupees. Now, this does not include any prize money. Yeah? This does not include any prize money or any direct monetary support given to you. Monetary support. It is not seed support. So, having understood this, the next thing you need to understand, when you're submitting an application, you really need to understand whether it is really required to take a grant, because now initially in earlier times grant was there, or it is definitely there, but the grant, majority of the times grant is always given to the innovators or the startups who are having really need of it. So when I'm mentioning really need of it, you need to understand that those who are not in the position to raise the investments, those who are not having the good connects with them in the ecosystem, so they can definitely go for taking grant support. But if you have a very good ecosystem connect, it is always preferable to take the investment in the terms of debt or debt-like instruments. And that's why what happened is even government also recently they have dropped a mail to all incubators by saying that till 14th of October 2022, 5,500 idea got submitted and only 580 ideas got selected. So on an average, there are 8 ideas got rejected behind one idea. And why this is happening, you need to understand it is not because of the lack of the innovation in that particular startup, but there is a demand there is the funding ask which is given by them. It seems to be unrealistic to the incubators. So try to understand that whatever funding you are asking, that should be realistic one, because funding is one part. There are other supports which you can take from the ecosystem. As I told you, because I have seen, let me give an example. One of the startup asked me the 50 lakh of support for their innovation. And they said that we are going to spend 10 lakh rupees towards protection of our IPs. But boss, there is a different funding quantum available for the IP support. So why not to take that entire money from that part? Second, what is preferable as far as from uh, good investment of the angel investment agency, it was also informed to the innovators that your entire business model, whatever now business canvas model you are designing, then after that you are going to present your idea to your mentors, you are going to discuss your mentors. My humble request to you people, because now after this 18 weeks of program, it will be an the partners responsibility, or it will be partners objective to support you or take you to the next level. So always try to have, first of all, asset light model. Don't invest so much in your assets, right? Why not to invest? Because duplication of the asset will not be preferable from any of the agencies. So though whether it will directly in the ministry or the incubator. So what is required? Renting out model. So on note, I'm mentioning you people, let's say if you have any sort of if you require any sort of the support for your innovation, or any laboratory support is required. So Department of Science and Technology, they have itself have started the portal by the name of ISTI. So ISTI portal is actually the Inclusive Science and Technology Innovation Portal. So there are, if I'm not wrong, by now there are 6,980 research and development labs are listed. And for startup, let me tell you, for startup, for initial 2-3 years, there is no need of procuring equipments by your own. And this is where the funding demand and funding which is provided, there is a gap, the majority of the gaps which is happening over here. You're not renting out, you're not observing the facility which is nearby to you, and you're directly trying to procure the equipment. So let's say recently, I'll tell you, recently I was in discussion with one of the Institute of Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore professor, that professor, and he said that I needed 20 lakh rupees, and in that 20 lakh rupees, I need a support, I need a equipment support. I need to purchase an equipment of 18 lakh rupees. And when we observed, when we actually gone deeper into it, we observed that the few equipments are already available with him in his institute itself. Few equipments are there in Maharashtra through this ISTI portal. And this is how the funding demand got minimized. Now, if you'll ask, so now I told you where you should not ask. Second, I'll tell you, don't go for asking the manpower funding. So whenever you're asking, so when as we are talking about the funding avenues, so you need to understand asset light model and also for the manpower funding, because it should not be that you are going to pay the salaries from the funding which you have raised. I do understand that there is always monetary support is required to the people who are working for your innovation, but also for startup, a good model is emerging, which is already there, but now through the incubators, it has been promoted that having the ESOPs. ESOPs is very good option. So ESOP stands for Employee Stock Operating Plans. So it's a simple thing that you can give away the equity to your employees, and they after some time they can liquidate that equity. You can buy back that equity, and the employee can have their money for themselves. But paying a salary, so this is a really a need of an hour to understand that your business models, your funding demand to the incubator, to any agencies should be asset light, and second one, it should be, to best of my knowledge, this is my personal view, but it should be a manpower free, so salary free models. Because what happened if we, let's say, if I'm going to give you support of for salaries, and if the salary part is exhausted, so is that employees is going to leave your organization? No. So you should have a plan B ready with you. So this is what is required. So I'll just give you a 2 minutes of walk through to this Bayrak portal. Devdatta, let me know whether my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So if we'll see under these programs, so Bayrak has very specific things there for you people. So this is the agency which is supporting the healthcare, chemical, biological programs through the various initiatives. So if we'll see ideation to early stage, there are three initiatives going on. Ideation to late stage, there are two different initiatives going on. For the researchers, so let's say if in our cohort we have any of the academician or the university or the researcher, so they have this translation research facilities also there. Apart from this, now try to understand, they have also categorized it, like you have the social innovations. If you are working towards any sort of social innovation, then these are the two initiatives which are running by them. If you look for the equity funding, because the equity game is always at higher side, right? Higher quantum is given, so equity based funding is there. You have the strategic research funding, so the specific program is running over there. Then product commercialization program fund, so you have a product ready with you, but you need a, let's, now this program I may categorize under the acceleration part. So the BBT Bayrak is itself is having their acceleration program through which they are providing this huge amount of capital to you to commercialize your product. So for a record, because this is going to be, the meeting is getting recorded, so I'm just giving you the idea of this. Please do visit this portal, those who are contributing towards the healthcare innovations. Coming back to us, now whatever we talked right now is of the national level. I'll take the liberty and opportunity to present you the what sort of ecosystem which is there for you people in Maharashtra. So these are actually the 17 incubators with you people who are going to support you for your innovation. So Maharashtra started with Maharashtra State Innovation Policy 2018. Under that, this 17 incubator was selected. Out of these 17 incubators, 13 are there in the universities like Pune, Jalgaon, Akola, Amravati, Nagpur, Nanded, Solapur, Kolhapur. Two are there in the academic institutions like in Mumbai suburbs, Riddle is there, and in Sangli, Netra already there. Two are there, two incubators are there in the industry cluster. One is in the Nashik, and second, which I'm serving, is Magic, Marathwada Accelerator for Growth and Incubation Council. Let me tell you the good thing about the incubators. All of the incubators are sector agnostic. All of the incubators give you the support for the seed funding. We have, I'll come to Magic part itself in the introductory slide, because the the symbol will tell you the what sort of avenues we have with us. So all these incubators are sector agnostic. They have not no one has finalized their sector. So what if whichever at whichever part you are there, please do connect with Devdatta, Anandji, or me, or any of the mentor. Will definitely try to connect you with any of these incubators. Now, I told you about the seed funding for innovation, but let's say there are two important aspects. Which one important aspect I talked to you about, the IP, protecting your IP. Second important aspect, let's say if you have any food-based product, any biology-based product, and you need a quality testing of it. So for that particular part, you need not to ask for a seed funding. There is a special facilities given. So if you'll see on the top left part, the government of Maharashtra already having the support facilities for IP. So if you're going to file the domestic application for IP, so intellectual property here, they are covering the design patents, copyrights, and trademark. So if you're going to find the domestic applications, up to 2 lakh support is there. And if you're going to file the foreign applications, the 10 lakh support is there. Let me tell you, all the figures are realistic, and the support is in the real time. It is not like other government the schemes. Second, if you have any product which needs a quality testing from NABL and BIS certified labs, So you will get a quality testing rebate for your applications up to 2 lakh rupees. Point to understand, they give you the 80% of rebate, but this is pretty much good, right? Let's say for your innovation, you need you have already invested, let's say 2.5 lakh rupees for quality testing, and you have invested here 2 lakh for patent. So you can actually cumulative can take a support. There are the eligibility criteria. Please do visit the Maharashtra State Innovation Society portal. Under that you will observe the financial assistance portal, in that you will see the schemes. But try to understand, if your demand to the incubators, if your demand to the any of the agency will be, let's say 20 lakhs, so directly 4 lakhs will be supported by the state government agency, right? So this is how you will get the this is how you will get the support apart from the seed funding. So your seed funding can be effectively utilized for whatever purpose you are asking. Now what purpose you should ask? One important purpose is your marketing sales part. Second, your R&D. Third, let's say on manpower, but we prefer is to the consulting agencies or to interns. Apart from these two schemes, there is other initiatives which is there in by the government of Maharashtra, is by the name of Maharashtra Startup Yatra. I'm glad to inform that out of the 75 are startups, few startups are the winners of this competition, and they have received the monetary support from the government of Maharashtra to take their idea at next level. So this Maharashtra Startup Yatra is open for all. Recently they have completed it, but in next year they are definitely going to have it, and I'm looking forward to have the maximum winners from this voluntary initiative which has started from Garje Marathi Global. One of the other initiative from government of Maharashtra is Maharashtra Startup Week. So this is dedicatedly for startups. So whenever I'm saying startup, try to understand the eligibility criteria will definitely come. So please do visit the portal in Maharashtra Startup Week. What is the beauty of this program? What government thought, that if you are working for innovation, right? If you are working for innovation, then it would be nearly difficult to categorize you or to ask you to provide to come into the tender processing, right? And parallelly, what is happening, the government departments are having the various issues with them. Let's say they have issues in e-governance. Let's say some health department is having some, they have some problems with them which can be solved through the intervention of technology, and for that purpose they are opening up the applications to all. They are asking the startups to submit the applications. 100 startup get selected in every Maharashtra Startup Week, and the 24 will be get finalized from government of Maharashtra, and these 24 startups they will be given the complete 15 lakhs rupees of work order from directly this that particular state government agency or the state government department. So this is how the startups can directly work with the government agencies without entering into the tendering process. And now coming back to Magic, I'll take a chance to introduce you Magic. So we have these, as far as the funding part is concerned, we have these four funding avenues for you people. The Startup India Seed Fund scheme is there. You go on the portal, register, apply for Magic by taking the preferred incubator. From the Ministry of MSME, we are supporting to uh, the innovations. So currently MSME Idea Hackathon 2.0 is completed. Do watch this portal, do connect with us so that we will let you know what sort of the next level of competition will be going on. Maharashtra State Innovation Society, it is there. We are there to support you people from that part. Another part, that Ministry of Defense, they have started Defense Innovation Excellence few years back under the flagship initiative Atmanirbhar Bharat. And under this Atmanirbhar Bharat, they have started this Innovations for Defense Excellence Initiative, IDEX. So this is specialized initiative for the startups who are working in the defense part. So they every year they start with the problem statements given by them. You need to approach to those problem statements. You need to design a solution framework, submit it, and then you can approach definitely to us. So these are some funding avenues which I tried to cover. I hope I've gave you the glimpse of the incubators. I'll post on the Slack. I'll post you about the different links where you can directly go and observe the different incubation centers which are there. And I also try to cover the different modes of investment which startups can avail, and the preferred mode of investment from our end, from the incubators end. We also try to touch upon the various state government initiatives, and finally give you the glimpse of the support which you can take from the magic. So Devdatta, I am open for question and answer if there are any.
Perfect. Great session, Nikhil. This was a lot of information. I'm sure startups team will be very happy to ask you more questions. We have